All right. Well, anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. So I just want to tell you what we're going to be doing tonight. So we are going to be making baby Elodie together. And that's going to take up the majority of the show. But I am going to have some downtime where I'm going to be like stuffing something or cutting something. And we're going to do some giveaways, answer some questions. And then I have some special features that I'm going to be showing about baby Elodie. One of them is a secret. And I also went ahead and made her accessories, a few of those, so I could share those with you guys tonight. So I'm just going to show you a completed baby Elodie here. I have her right here. Here's my second baby Elodie that I made, and I'll be making a third one tonight. Let me just get back to the comments here and make sure everything's, oh my goodness. Susan, it's 12:30 in the morning where you are. Oh my goodness, you sound like me. You're part of the Midnight Embroidery Club because it's midnight somewhere, right? Oh. Hey Wendy, how are you? Embroidery Grandma, I love your name. How many grandkids do you have, Embroidery Grandma? All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and go over some materials before we get started. And I'm going to tell you what the giveaway is going to be tonight. And there's some rules about it. And it's very important that I let you know what those rules are so that you can participate and everyone knows how it works. So what you're going to need tonight is doll fabric. And what I've done is I have went ahead and I have pre-cut all my pieces of fabric that I need for tonight. So, and I put them in order so that I won't lose track of what I'm doing because I'm a scatterbrain. Am I alone in this? So I've got, you're going to need, I just went ahead and pre-cut everything. And I did put a chart on the website on the baby Elodie page, like every hoop size and how to pre-cut your fabric for tonight's show if you wanted to participate. That's a great question. How many of you guys in the comments here, how many of you are going to be making baby Elodie tonight with me? All right. So, yeah, you're going to need some doll jersey. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put a question on the screen here because someone asked a good question. So, Sally says, where do you get your doll jersey? So, we have a lot of stock of it and we sell it ourselves, but it comes from, I believe it is the Netherlands. And it is a very premium doll jersey. It's a double knit and it's made specifically for doll making. But you can also get it on Etsy. So Etsy's a great place. Weir Crafts is also a second source. They don't sell this particular doll jersey, but they also have a very good doll jersey that's affordable. So, but Etsy is a great place to find it. All right, so we're going to need doll jersey, and we are also going to need faux fur to make the hair. So what I have here is some of our faux fur that we also sell. And I chose blonde for my baby tonight. And then also doll joints. These are optional to make your baby Elodie. I put them in the list of materials. So like if you want to attach the head with a doll joint, you can get those at crcrafts.com. They have a section on their website and you want to look for the old style doll joints. They are all white. So if you see some that have like a beige backer to it, those are really hard to snap together. They do stay clicked really well, but they're so hard to snap together. And then let's see, you're just going to need like stabilizer and spray adhesive, tape. Some optional things are going to be magnets. And I'll just I'll talk about the supplies as we go through it. It's okay if you're not going to make baby Elodie tonight. It's just fun for you to be here and be watching, and you can kind of see how things go together. And, you know, I see a lot of people say they collect a lot of our designs and buy a lot of our designs, but they've never made one. So I'm hoping that that's the whole point of the Midnight Embroidery Show. I really want to like give you the courage to do something different with your embroidery machine and not be afraid anymore. And sometimes that's just because we just like to do what we're comfortable with. And I'm amazed at the embroidery machine and what it can do. I also have a 3D printer. I want a laser cutter. Like, I love those kind of machines. They can make things, you know? So an embroidery machine is kind of like that. And so I hope that the Midnight Embroidery Show and the designs that we make get you excited to use your embroidery machine. Some of you are saying that you've made a few of our designs. Some of you are here really late in the evening. So let's see. There's a good question here. So is it Angie and Jean? Please forgive me if I say your name wrong. She says, what size doll joints, please? So it kind of depends on the size that you're making when you download the design. And I also put this on the website, the sizes that you need to purchase, depending on what hoop size you're going to be making. So if you're making like a 5x7, then you're going to need really small doll joints. And then if you're going to be making the big size, you know, the 22-inch size, you're going to need like 55mm doll joints. So each baby takes a different size. I hope that answers your question. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Oh, let me go over tonight's giveaway. So this is really important. So tonight I'm going to be giving away wig fabric. This is going to be a kit, okay? So you're not just going to get one of these things. You're going to get all of these things. So we're going to have 4 giveaways. So there's going to be 4 winners. And each winner is going to be getting 3 different sizes of doll joints. So I have the 30mm, 35mm. These are 6-packs. And then a 6-pack of the 45mm doll joints that we had made in Japan for us because they're so... I'm very picky about my doll joints. You're going to get your choice of a color of wig, and I'll show you those colors. We have brown, black, red, blonde, and dark brown. So you'll be able to choose. Here's the dark brown. Let me just kind of give you a little peek in here. So that's the dark brown, blonde. You'll get to choose a wig, and then our doll jersey. So this is the same DeWitt Engel from the Netherlands. We just ordered a massive amount of yardage, like thousands of yards, and we just made it nice packaging here. And we have 3 different colors, and you'll get to see those colors tonight because I've made a baby in each of those colors. So, and then you're also going to get a doll needle, and it'll ship in this little test tube so that you don't poke yourself. That's really handy for not just doll making, but anything. And then also I'm going to include one of the Honeybug magnetic pacifiers. So you'll get one of those as well. And whenever you win, if you have a small hoop size, just let me know and I will put a smaller pacifier in your prize package. So I'll kind of customize everything for each winner. So if you win tonight, by the way, to enter the giveaway, please type #midnight, all caps, in the comments. And what will happen is we have a giveaway screen. Let me show this to you. Let's see. It's going to look like this. And this is what you need to type. So you just have to enter it one time, not every time we do a drawing. And it just keeps running. And I'll come to this page periodically tonight and we will draw a winner. So I think it's case sensitive. So make sure you use all uppercase. So midnight. And And if you win, this is very important. I will not contact you in the comments or on WhatsApp. I'm not going to be the one to reach out to you. This is how people will scam you on YouTube. They look for these giveaway live streams and they go and they tell people that they've won. You've won a free iPhone. I need to ship it to you. You just need to pay me $100. So I'm not going to reach out to you. I need you to reach out to me. And the way you'll do that is you will actually go to the website and just contact me there and say, hey, I won. And let me know what your YouTube profile name is. And I can look back in the history and verify that it's you so that someone doesn't pretend to be you and try to get your prize. So I hope that that makes sense. Does that make sense, everybody? Grace says, who the heck are you? My evil twin, stop spamming caps. And you guys, if you hear dogs barking or anything tonight, I apologize. Everybody in my house knows what's going on tonight, and everybody's being really good. But the dogs, they're going to do what they're going to do. So that's the giveaway. We've gone over that. All right, let's get started making this. So I have gone a step ahead of you guys. And okay, yes, just keep entering. Yes, enter the giveaway by typing in the midnight, hashtag midnight. All right, so let's get to this because our main goal tonight is to make the baby. So here, let me do my top-down camera for you guys. Give me just a second here. All right, so top-down camera here is hooping number 1. And let me just get my marker here. The dogs know what I'm doing. They are getting spunky. Sewn-In arms. So we are on the first thing we're going to make. I hope you guys can see that. It says Sewn-In arms. So let me go to my fabrics here. And I'm going to get the Sewn-In arm fabric. And I always do this. And it's just to keep the fabric from, you know, if I look away and it gets a wrinkle and it messes up, that scares me. So I just like to just spray a little bit of temporary spray adhesive. All right, and then here's my fabric. I've been clipping and labeling everything. Now this is important. So the arms, the stretch needs to go side to side. Okay, so this fabric does have a stretch that goes side to side and not much that goes in the other direction. So you want to make sure that when you place your fabric that you have the stretch going this way. Now, I'm not going to be making the doll joint arms tonight, but I made them ahead of time and I'm going to tell you how to make those. So if you are making the doll joint arms, you are just going to place one piece of fabric right now. Everybody else is going to place 2 pieces of fabric and they'll be right sides together. Okay, so there's the one. And what you would do if you were making the doll joint arms is you would go to the embroidery machine right now and you would stitch circles. But we're not going to do that because we're making the sewn-in arms. So for sewn-in arms, you're just going to go ahead and put the second piece of fabric and they'll be right side to right side. This fabric, it doesn't have a right side. It's the same on both sides. So we'll just do like that. Ooh. Okay. Now I'm going to use my tape and I'm going to go ahead and tape this fabric in place. Okay, now we got it taped in place. We're just going to put it on the embroidery machine. And I'm going to stitch the next color. I'm going to choose a brown fabric for this whole project so you guys can see it. But you really need to use fabric, or I'm sorry, thread that matches your fabric. So don't be like me. I'm just doing it so that you can see. So while that's stitching, let's see if we have any questions. Does anybody have any questions tonight for me? Stacy says that she has me on 3 devices tonight. So I can imagine her like cell phone and iPad and computer all around her. So she has a 360-degree view. That's pretty smart. So you're making the doll with me too. Thank you, Stacy. So Silver Lake Sewing, she has a really great question. So she says, are you using a lining for this doll? So in the past, in tutorials, you will see that not only would you cut fabric for your doll, but you would also use like a thin t-shirt, like a white thin t-shirt material and cut pieces of fabric like that too. And I'll discuss that. I'm not going to do it tonight, just for the sake of time. It's not necessary, but it does help with hiding lumps when you stuff your doll. So I hope that that makes sense. So Marilyn says, will this replay? Yes. When this live stream ends, it's going to be a permanent video on our YouTube channel, and anybody can go and watch it. That's a good question. Thank you, Marilyn. Sorry, I'm reading the comments, you guys, in the machine. So Rhonda says, why is this fabric not lined like other dolls? So again, you can, absolutely. I'm just not going to do it tonight, but we will talk about it, and I will explain to you how you would do it. So we are almost done with these arms. Let's see here. Sally says, have you ever had a doll hair that has curls? So I actually have a few show and tell items tonight, and maybe this will help me dig through here and find it. If you are making a, let me do my top down camera so you guys can see this. So if you're making a small baby, like a 4x4 or a 5x7, maybe even an 8x8, can you imagine trying to make a wig for your doll with this? It would be so difficult. I found this at, I believe it was Hobby Lobby. It is a faux fur, and it's a 9x12 piece. I don't know if you can see. It doesn't have, oh, it's Treehouse Studio is the brand. The color's not the best, but check this out. So it's stretchy, and it's kind of like a teddy bear fabric. And this would work so well for the 4x4 and the 5x5, 5x7 dolls where the head is much smaller. Isn't that kind of cool? So that's kind of a curly. So you could definitely use a minky fabric that's the swirl minky. I have seen that. You could use that as your wig. So Rhonda also says, if we wanted to purchase our supplies from you, where would we do this? We have this set up on our Juno doll website. I have not gone through and done an inventory restocking. So that's why the website, you can't really buy anything from it right now. It's because I need to go through the inventory and count everything again, because I'm terrified to every time we put things up for sale, I limit it to about 100 orders, because we get so many orders that it can take, I don't want customers waiting too long. You know what I mean? So we only open it like periodically. And so I'll try to announce if we're going to do something like that, so you can prepare if you want to buy fabric, but you don't have to buy from us. We just tried to make it, easy. We didn't realize how popular it was going to be. And we get a lot of orders, and it can be kind of scary. So, but yeah, that's why. So let's take a break from the comments. I'm going to go back to what we're doing here. All right, so let me hide this comment. So this is our doll joint, I'm sorry, our sewn-in arms, all stitched, and I'm just going to remove them from the hoop, or actually the stabilizer. And you could just rip them right out of the stabilizer. A little hint for you guys, if you leave your stabilizer attached to the shape of whatever you're doing, you see how I kind of left the stabilizer here on the back side with the arms? It can make it easier to cut. Hang on just one second. My husband has a question for me. Sorry, you guys. My husband had to, he's in the comments too, and he's watching this bot thing, and he just wanted to let me know that because you guys were entering all caps for the giveaway, the word hashtag midnight, it was basically like saying you guys were spamming the chat. So I have, let me show you this. So I've changed it to all lowercase, you guys. So if you've entered, hashtag midnight and it was all caps, go ahead and do it as all lowercase. Go ahead and do it again, okay? Because I want to make sure. I don't know what's going on with that. I have no idea what Nightbot is or how it got in there. Maybe it's a feature of YouTube. Yes, go ahead and do the lowercase. So I'll just leave that on the screen for just a minute so everybody can see. And if you see someone enter the uppercase version, help them out and tell them to enter the lowercase. All right, so I've removed my arms and I'm gonna get rid of this stabilizer and go ahead and hoop a new piece of stabilizer. He scared me. I didn't know what he was going to tell me had happened. Like the dogs had killed each other or something. So I'm glad he told me about that though. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to load the next file, which is the legs, and I'm going to have it stitching while I trim the arms. So let me get that going. And I'm also going to slow the machine down because I don't know if it's too loud and it's bothering you guys. But let me go to the top-down scene again. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out. And with doll jersey, you don't have to worry about cutting too close, but I wouldn't leave a huge seam allowance here. And I always like to leave about 1/4 of an inch at the top of each arm like that. And then I like to make a little tab of fabric because when you turn the arm right side out, you want to have something to stitch there because the seam is so scant. And I'm going to, when I get to the thumb, I'm going to cut right into that thumb as close as I can. All right, there's one. I'm really sorry about the whole giveaway word, you guys. I had no idea that having it in all caps would create a catastrophe. Well, you learn something new every day, right? And we're going to be doing a giveaway here in a minute. So I know you guys are excited about the giveaway. Just remember what I said about the giveaway. All right, let's go. You see my arms here, right? I am going to put a question on the screen. I'm going to pick someone's question here. So Just Me says, I'm really having a hard time finding flesh colored mink fabric or doll fabric in Canada. I ordered some beige last night. It's all I could find, and long haired faux fur. So that's a great question. I know in other countries it can be difficult to find supplies. That's why I recommend Etsy so much. You can bleach fabric. There are other kinds of fabric you can do too. So you don't have to use doll jersey. You could also use velour, like cotton velour. You could use stretch terry. You could just get white, like a really good quality 100% cotton thick knit t-shirt that's white, and then just kind of like tea stain it. You could do that. A lot of people use scuba. Scuba knit is like a smooth, it reminds me of the fabric that Cabbage Patch dolls were made out of. If any of you guys remember the Cabbage Patch dolls, that's what scuba is. And it's like smooth. So that's pretty fun to use too. But that's a great question, and I know it's hard. We take it for granted here in the United States. It's easy for us to hop on Amazon or hop on Etsy and find things. And I know, I'm really sorry. That's why when we do sell doll supplies, we pretty much ship anywhere. You know, if you win tonight in the giveaway and you are in Antarctica, I'm going to ship you your prize. So, you know, if you're in Israel or I don't even know what small country, my brain isn't working, but you're not going to be disqualified from the drawing because you're in Canada or something. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, so let's go ahead. We got our legs outline stitched out, and I'm going to take a break from the arms, but we are going to come back to this. Okay, so I'm just going to put them in front of me. Let's turn our attention to the legs. So I have, let me do my top down. It's hard to see. All right, here's our legs. Now I have your legs and then their own, it's just a one leg that you will have in your file. You can duplicate it and mirror it like I have here if your hoop is big enough. But just to save time tonight, I did both my legs on one piece of stabilizer at the same time. So let me get my leg fabric. Now let's talk about lining the doll, because we've had two different questions about that. So if you were going to line your doll, what you would do is you would also have two pieces of t-shirt. Like just a white t-shirt from Walmart, right? And you'd make sure the stretch is, you know, that you would have 4 pieces of fabric, 2 of this and 2 of the t-shirt. And what you would do is you would take 1 piece of t-shirt fabric and you would lay it down. Then you would put a piece of doll jersey on top of that. Then you would put another piece of doll jersey. And then you would put the last piece of t-shirt fabric. So it'd be like a sandwich. So you would have a piece of white fabric and then your colored doll jerseys. And then a piece of t-shirt fabric would be, you know, your first layer. And you would stitch it like that. And what that does is it pads your doll. So when you stuff your doll, the polyfill bumps won't, you know, your doll won't look like it has cellulite. So, you know, nobody likes cellulite, right? Not even dolls. So you don't have to use it. You can just be more careful when you stuff your doll. And I have some tips on that. So if you don't want to stuff, it definitely makes it easier to make your doll if you don't line your doll. You know, that is extra fabric and extra layers. But, you know, it's up to you. That's why I say use something thin. You could even use like a stretch polyester that is real stretchy. You can use that. It's cheap and it's super duper thin. And it just gives you that extra, like just a little bit of protection. So let's see here. So Susan says, I lined Willow this week and cut up my husband's t-shirt. Yeah. So that's the beauty. It's not going to show and you can use anything. Again, we're going to be having a giveaway in just a minute. So if you want to enter the giveaway, please enter hashtag. Let me actually put something on the screen for you guys. But just know that it is lowercase, not uppercase. Don't enter caps. So it's going to be hashtag midnight. So make sure you enter that so that you will be included in the drawing in a minute. All right, so let's go back to our legs here. So I've got both pieces and I'm going to tape them. Let me actually spray some glue real quick. Just a little bit so our fabric don't get squirrely whirly on us. And I'm just going to put and I always like to tape it because you can see I got some creases in my fabric here. All right, let me get this on the machine and then we're going to do a giveaway. Okay, you guys? All right. So let's get our giveaway tool up. Is everybody, looks like we have quite a bit of people who, all right, let's do our first giveaway. Now I'm going to be making some notes. So I'm going to be writing down who wins. And let me just tell you about this tool here. So I'm using StreamYard. It is a browser-based app that allows people like me who are dumb to live stream, you know, us old fogies. You know, I don't have a gamer Twitch channel. So I'm going to use StreamYard. And they have a built-in giveaway tool. And I am able to give you guys a keyword to use, and it will not allow you to win 2 times. So if you win tonight, you can't win again. So I hope that makes sense. So we're going to start the giveaway tool. And we have 83 entries, and I'm going to draw. And here we go here. The winner is Carla. Let me write this down. Carla Miller. Congratulations, girl. You won you some doll supplies. Congratulations. So just make sure that you contact me. So I'm going to put something up here on the screen. So how to claim your gift. So I want you to contact me through the website within 7 days. And I want you to include your YouTube profile name. And I want you to include what the gift was. And this is all ways that I can verify you, okay? And make sure someone's not pretending to be you, because we don't want them to take your prize. Oh, my husband is so sweet. He brought me some tea. Thanks. Isn't he sweet? He probably saw I was foaming at the mouth or something. All right, so our legs are stitching. We got a giveaway out of the way. Carla, congratulations, and I will make sure that you get your gift. Just contact me on the website, okay? All right, now let's get back to these arms while our legs are stitching here. So one of the things that you can do that is optional, and I am going to do it tonight, is we can make our hands magnetic so that they stick together so the baby holds its hands together. And I like to use, I'm almost out of this stuff, the Dr. Scholl's Moleskin Medical Adhesive Bandage. And then my magnets are stuck to the pacifier here, but I have these magnets. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut 2 pieces. And I'm going to cut a little circle like this. I found that the Dr. Scholl's has very good adhesion, but they do make magnets that have a hole in the middle that allows you to stitch it to something. And if you look on the back of this pacifier, can you see that I was able to find these magnets that are like a ring? So if you did line your doll, you could sew that magnet like to the lining of the hand, because it has a hole in the middle. So that's pretty cool. But I'm just going to take 2 of these magnets here. These are very strong and little, and that's what we want. So little and strong. Now, what I like to do is I want to put the hands together like this. And I want to put, let's see, I have to think about this. Let me actually do it like this. Put the hands away from each other and put the magnets about here, okay? Now you know you have them on the opposite sides. I want these magnets to attract to each other. So they're not doing it. I'm going to flip this magnet. Now watch. This is a little trick. So now the hands are together and the magnets are being held, you know, by their own attractive forces. And this allows me to make sure that when I put my doll together, that the magnets are going to attract. All right, so now I'm going to take the adhesive, and I'm just going to secure the magnet here and secure the magnet on this side. Boom. And now our hands are done. I'm not going to turn them right side out right now because we're going to keep moving. All right. So we will have a giveaway soon. Here's a good question. So Maggie, she says, will the names of the winners be in the replay? Yes, but I can trim that out. So like if you're a winner and you don't want your name out there, Maggie, you know, I am able to go into YouTube after a video is published and I can cut parts out. So if there's something you want me to remove, I can do that. And that could be a good thing because people who are watching on the replay, they want to learn how to do something, so they might not want to hear all the comments and questions or see who the winners were. So I hope that makes sense. I could do that if it was something that you requested, that you know you wanted, it bothered you, you know, for your privacy's sake. All right, so let's grab these legs. We got the legs. Let's keep moving, you guys. Oh, I'm a scatterbrain. All right, so let me do my top down again for you. And here's our legs. I stitched them both. Let's remove them. Like I said, I'm just going to pull them like so. And I'm not going to get them all tidy for you yet because I'm going to go ahead and load another piece of stabilizer so we can keep moving. You guys, I love this embroidery hoop. It is like the most life-changing thing. I think I need to give one of these away in a future live stream. I think, well, that would be hard because they are by the machine. Like this is for my machine. So we'll have to think of a way to do something special about the magnetic hoops here. All right, let me get this on the machine out of our way. And I'm just going to, now the next thing I'm going to be stitching is going to be the back of the body. If you are doing the sewn-in arms, you do not need the back body. The back body has doll support circles on it, but I'm going to make it on the show here because I want to show how to make that piece. But if you are making sewn-in arms, you don't need this step. So just skip it. I'm going to make it just so I can demonstrate. All right, while that's going, we will get the leggy weggies removed. So, trying to pick questions here. So, Sally, she says, do you use just regular Scotch tape? Yes. It's the same stuff for like when you wrap Christmas presents at Christmas. And that's just because I do so much sewing that I know it's going to end up in the trash. And I mean, I develop a mountain of this stuff. And it's cheap. I buy it by like the 24 pack or something like that. And it's just more, it's easier for me to use. And I find it works just as good as the fancy embroidery tape. I mean, if you want to use the fancy embroidery tape, I'm sure it's amazing. So I don't know everything. You know, I certainly have never used it because I'm cheap. So I'm a little cheapskate. But yeah, I just use regular Scotch tape. That's a good question. Thanks for asking. So I know that tonight, and I should have warned you guys that there will be some technical difficulties with my embroidery machine. I know I have the fancy 10 needle, but she's an old girl and she has her tantrums and she's throwing one right now. So I'm really sorry about this, but I need to fix it. So I'm going to go ahead, and what has happened is the top thread has been pulled out of the needle. So fun stuff. So what I do is I just pull it down here and trim it. I'm going to remove my hoop so that I can access it. And I do have an automatic needle threader on here, but it needs to be replaced. The little wiper. Those of you who have a 10 needle, you know what I'm talking about. But this happens to me every single time I sew, and I really need a new embroidery machine. And I actually have some tools here because I know this was going to happen tonight. So this grabs my thread. Sorry, you guys, this is real life stuff. It is what it is. And I'm just going to thread the needle by hand. Now, this machine, like I said, it will thread for me, but it never does it. There's something wrong with the wiper. All right, I got the thread. I'm going to bring it up here just to hold it for a minute. See, that wasn't so bad. It's still annoying. I need a new machine. I've had someone come out here to the house to service it, and they said it was fixed, but it wasn't. All right, I'm just going to hold the thread while it stitches a few times, and then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to cut. But, you know, that should make you feel better that even those of us with a 10 needle machine have problems too. So, you know, life isn't all hunky-dory, but hopefully it will do its thing now. So, yes, Allie, you're not alone. So, let's see. Sandy says, I use blue painter's tape. The color painter's tape doesn't stick well, but the blue works great. Well, I'm going to try that because that might be something. That's a good idea, Sandy. Thank you for that. And then Wendy Miller says, does any project ever go without a hitch? Not in my world. Right, exactly. It happens to all of us. Now, I will say this. Things like that happen on the daily with me and my machine over here. And that really bothers me. But one thing I can say is something that almost never happens. You know, when you turn your back and you walk away from your embroidery machine and it eats itself, you know what I'm saying? It sucks your project into an oblivion, and you come back and you hear this horrible sound, and your stabilizer and your t-shirt has been sucked into the bobbin. Has this ever happened to you guys on a single needle machine? That does not happen. Almost never. I think it's happened to me 2 times in 12 years on this 10 needle machine. So like, as far as truly being able to walk away from the 10 needle machine, you can do that. So if any of you are sick and tired of that and you are thinking about upgrading, that is a great point, is that with a multi-needle machine, you are free to walk away from your machine and go do the dishes, walk the dogs, and know that 99% everything's going to be okay. All right, so I am going to do another camera angle for you guys here. So this is the back body. Let me just write that down. Again, do not make this if you have the sewn-in arms. You only want to make this if you are using the doll joint arms like this. So with the circle, so I went ahead and made these ahead of time. So here's the doll joint arms, and I have them, they got the little circles and they need some place to connect to the body, right? So this is a special piece that's for the back body that is going to add those circles for you. So what I like to do is I've put 2 circles here, and you can cut little pieces of felt, and that really adds some stability to the fabric. You know, if a child were to go yanking on this doll's arm, it's got this thick felt at the circle. So like doll jersey, it is nice. It's nice quality, but can it withhold, you know, a doll being pulled on? Those doll joints are probably not going to fail. What's probably going to happen is the fabric is going to stretch, 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 and the hole's going to get bigger, right? That's why we have these support circles. And that's why we need support circles on the body. So I like to put a piece of felt, okay? Just so when it stitches the circle, it has something to bite into. And then I'm going to add some spray adhesive. And I have made a mess of my stuff over here, so let me get reorganized so I can find my fabrics, you guys. And I'm just going to take one of the torso pieces. We are not making the torso right now, but I'm just going to go ahead and make this piece, okay? So you're going to take one piece of doll jersey. If you were lining your doll, put a piece of lining fabric down first, then put the doll jersey. So we're going to do this. And I'm going to tape it. We'll get some questions here in a minute. All right. Now we're just going to put this on the machine. And it's going to stitch the support circles just like we have on the doll joint arms. And it's going to stitch some alignment markings. Let's see if we have any questions. Actually, I'm going to answer questions and I'm going to trim my legs here. So I've trimmed one. I need to trim the other one so I can stay on track. So let's see here. Gail has a really nice compliment. So Gail, you said, your designs are so well done. I made Draco years ago for my grandson and was in awe of how it all went together. So Gail, thank you so much for that. And thank you for being a customer for so long. And that just warms my heart, makes me feel good. That's why we make what we make, because it's fun to make new projects. And I kind of have an engineer's brain a little bit, and I can't help but want to discover new ways of using the embroidery machine for purposes that it may not have been intended for. Because I don't know about any of you, maybe it's just me. I do get a little bored of doing like monograms and appliques, and it is nice, though, to be able to just sit down and put something on there and have it stitch and not have all these steps. But at the same time, like, if you did 100 t-shirts, you would be ready for something new. You know what I mean? Okay. So thank you so much, Gail, for that compliment. So let's see. Cindy says, who is Draco? Is it the dragon? This is my mom, you guys. So I gave my Draco dragon to my mom. Hey, Mom, how are you? I love you, Mom. You guys, my mom's the best. She's so supportive of me. And such a sweet person. But yeah, I gave my Draco dragon to my mom, and she got my dragon book that went with him. And she has him in the living room sitting on her bookshelf. All right, let me just remove the stabilizer. All right, and I'm going to turn the legs right side out. So I know we haven't done that yet. And what I recommend for this is hemostats, like literally what doctors use in surgery. You can buy a pack of these on Amazon for probably less than $10. And it just makes short work of reaching into here. And what I like to do is open the hemostats, and I push the fabric in between, and I grab it, and then I just pull it out. So it just makes it so much easier. Otherwise, it's a nightmare. And my hands are very arthritic. I can get a carpal tunnel flare up so fast. I have to be really careful when I'm doing crafts. Is anybody else like that? Your hands bother you when you do things? I have to be careful not to bend my wrist when I do anything. It's awful. Sometimes I just reach in there and get it. There we go. And then I can just use the hemostats again to smooth it out. So we've been going live for about an hour now, you guys. We're going to have another giveaway in a minute, and I am going to try to speed up a little bit. All right, because I don't want to go too long, but here's our legs, okay? And I'm just going to pin them together. They're turned right side out. Here's the doll joint arms. We're not going to use those tonight. And in a minute, I'm going to turn these right side out. But let's turn our attention to this back body piece for those who are doing the doll joint version. So here's the support circles and the alignment markings. And I'm just going to remove this. It can just be removed from the hoop. And I just clip it where it gets stuck. So we're just going to pull it. I'm going to clip the stabilizer here. It don't have to be pretty. And this will get set aside, and I'll show you how it gets used later when we make the torso. So if you're making the doll joint version where you actually have doll joint arms, you would need this piece, and this is what it's going to look like. All right, so we're just going to set that to the side. Got our legs and arms. Let's go ahead and change our stabilizer here. Whenever I make projects and I'm testing, what happens, hang on one second. Let me actually skip ahead here. Is this what I want to do next? Yeah, we're making the body next. I thought we were making the head, but nope, we're making the body. Okay, we're going to be making the body. Yeah, so when I am doing tutorials and I'm testing things, I have to make things multiple times. And the whole time I'm doing it, I have to stop, take a picture, stop, take a picture, stop, take a picture. I have a camera overhead. And it's just, when I get done with a project, I have like 500 pictures. I take a picture of every single step, because how else are you going to understand how to make something? You have to be shown. And now we have videos, and hopefully we'll have more. Let's see. Let's take a question. A lot of you have carpal tunnel. I'm seeing that. I'm so sorry. I know it's awful. There may come a day whenever I need to have surgery too. I sure hope not. But it looks like several of you are also having trouble with your hands. My husband can attest. It gets really bad. Let's see. Christy Fritz Boyd. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I probably butchered your name. She says, I use the Charlotte Bear to make the memory bears, working on bears for my 9 grandkids. That is a lot of grandkids. You have been blessed, and they are going to be so happy to get that. Memory bears are the best thing in the whole wide world. And the Charlotte Bear is great for that. I am going to be doing an update to the Charlotte Bear here. I'm hoping this year what I want to do is, you know, the nose is a seam. So I actually want to make that one piece. I think that will make the bear easier to make, and it will not be like an extra charge for that for you guys. It'll be included. So you'll just be able to go and re-download it whenever I get it done. When I got to get some free time. But we're going to be making the torso next. So just so you know, that's what's coming up. And I didn't put this in the pre-cut fabric, but there is a little piece that's optional, and it's part of the torso. And what it is it's a neck support. So if you've ever made one of our babies, let me get my baby out here, that had a floppy head, like the head wanted to flop around, we provided something called a FlopStopper, and it's a tube, and then the doll joint goes in this tube. Well, I've included it with this doll. So basically this is going to be inside the body, and we'll see that when we do assembly. So here is the beginning of the torso file. So if you're making along, you are going to see this box, and this is optional. You don't have to do it, but it looks like this, and you're just going to have a piece of fabric folded in half. Let me take it out here. Let's look at how long it is. So it looks like this. The stretch is side to side, side to side. Man, I should have said that on the legs. When I had the legs, obviously the stretch is going to be side to side. And I forgot to say that. I am so sorry. Get it together, Becca. All right, I have folded it in half, and I'm going to put the fold on the line and tape it in place. We're going to do a giveaway in a minute, you guys. All right, so there is that taped. All right, let's see if we have any. I'm going to take another question, and let's see here. All right, here's a good question. So Tina Smith, she says, which magnetic hoop are you using on your machine, please? I have a 6 needle and struggle with regular hoops. Girl, the hoop struggle is real. So what I have is it's the Dime Monster Snap Hoop. And I think it's meant to be used with quilting, but I just hoop stabilizer in it. And I float everything. So I'm never like hooping something. Like I will never like actually like hoop a t-shirt and then put the ring on top. But I love the Dime, and the reason it's called Dime is it's designs in machine embroidery, and it's like a green frame, and it's very thin. It just snaps right together. They are very expensive, but you might could find one. Like they were on sale a couple weeks ago for $60 off. So I would wait until they go on sale. Don't buy them full price. That'll probably be Black Friday. Just keep like checking their website. So let's actually, whoops, you can't see that, people. We're actually going to get the media assets up here. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying. Let's go back to our giveaway tool, and we are going to do another giveaway. So just to let you know, to enter the giveaway, hang on, let me remove some things from my screen here. Okay. All right, so do not enter caps, you guys. It needs to be lowercase midnight. So hashtag midnight if you want to win. This was Carla. She was the last winner. So we are going to head over and I'm going to draw again. We have 90 entries and I just click draw again. And let's see who wins the second time. Tina Smith. Wait, did she just have a question too? Well, that is awesome. Congratulations, Tina. I'm so happy for you. I'm going to write this down, okay? Because it just helps me to verify you later. We don't want anybody pretending to be you, Tina, and taking your prizes. You know what I mean? That would not be cool. So Tina, here's the rules. So just how to claim your gift, just contact me through the website. You will contact me within 7 days. Just go to the website and you're going to use the contact us and just tell me, hey, this is Tina and I won on the live stream. Tell me what your YouTube profile name is and tell me what the giveaway was, what the item was that you won. We discussed that earlier in the video. I hope that you were here then. But congratulations, Tina, and we will get that sent out to you no matter where you are in the whole wide world. So let's get back to our tutorial here. Here is the lines that stitched on the neck, and I'm going to remove I'm just going to pull it up from the stabilizer. So this is the first time you guys have seen me do something like this. It just comes right up, you guys. And what I'm going to do is it is catching right here, so I'm just going to snip it. Okay, this is optional. You do not have to do this step. You don't have to make the neck support, but it does help your baby's head not to flop around. I'm going to trim this. It doesn't have to be pretty. I'm just going to trim it a little bit here. Okay, and I'm going to put tape over this line, both these lines, so I can keep using the stabilizer because remember, I'm cheap. I don't want to waste anything. And I don't want to hoop another piece of stabilizer. So I'm just going to put some tape right there. And guess what? Bob's your uncle. We can keep going. So I'm just going to, I probably shouldn't have done that yet because the machine needs to stitch something. But all right, let's get this back on the machine here. And we're going to stitch the outline for the body. And while it's doing that, I'm going to explain how to use this little thing here. So what we have is a tube of fabric. It has stitching on each side and it's open at the bottom. And then it has a folded end right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a tiny snip. I'm going to use some sharper scissors. Let me show you guys a better view. So here is the tube, okay? And I'm just going to make a snip right in the middle. And I already know that this doll is going to use the 45 millimeter size doll joint. So what you can do is I'm actually going to go ahead and get out the pieces. So these doll joints come with 3 parts. Let me find the last piece. Oh my goodness. All right, we got that piece, and that piece that we need. I'm just going to put all these back because that's all I need for this whole project. All right. So we have the pieces of the doll joints. This is how it works. This is the post piece. This is the flat washer. So it's completely flat. And then this will have teeth in the middle or it'll be kind of dome shaped. And what we'll do, and we can do it now, is we are going to put this doll joint inside of this skinny little sleeve. And it's okay if it stretches out because we want it to stretch out. And we're going to push that post all the way to the end so it pokes out. And I'm going to pull it as hard as I can. So it's all the way like so. Does everybody see that? So what that does is we will stuff the rest of this tube with polyfill and it's going to sit inside the torso. And I'll show you how it all goes together. So just let's get that part done. All right, let's get back to our torso here. And we have the outline now, and I'm going to write on here that we're making the torso, or AKA the body. Here's the outline. And we need our other torso pieces, which are here. Now, when I make this doll torso, I'm going to make it like the sewn-in. Okay, so I'm making the sewn-in torso, but I will show you how you would use the back piece that goes with the doll joint arms when you make your torso. So if you are making this sewn-in baby arm design, you will cut 2 pieces of fabric to cover this outline. Your stretch will go across the torso, not up and down. So like so. And because it's going to stitch a belly button and the chest detail, yeah, we'll just say chest detail. I'm going to cut a scrap of stabilizer to go on top of the stabilizer I already have. And the reason why I'm doing that is because when it stitches those, we are stitching on knit fabric. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the rule is when you stitch on t-shirt fabric, you want to use cutaway stabilizer. And we're not doing simple lines anymore, like an outline. Now we're actually getting into some embroidery. And we don't want to use cutaway stabilizer on the doll because it's going to be hard to cut that away all the way around. You know, every time something stitches all the way around, we need the fabric to stretch. So, so we're using tearaway, and I like to add an extra piece of stabilizer here so that when we stitch that belly button, it's not going to destroy the fabric, because that happened to me once upon a time. So from now on, I always make sure, and I'm just centering it top to bottom and side to side. And I'm just going to smooth it. Okay. I'm also going to tape it. So we're going to tape it. Scotch tape. They should sponsor this channel. Right. Okay. Now I'm going to do one more thing. And you're going to think this is very weird, but I don't know why this works, you guys. But water soluble topper on top of t-shirt. If you are stitching something and you are having trouble and it keeps messing up on you no matter what you do, this is like magic, and I don't know why. Maybe it like lubricates the needle. I don't know what strange voodoo is going on, but I always do this when I make dolls. I just cut a piece of the water soluble topper, and I'm just going to put it right over the fabric and tape it in place as well. So we have extra stabilizer, and we have this water soluble, and we've used spray adhesive, and we've used tape. We've done everything we can to make sure that this is going to stitch out well. All right, we're going to get it on the machine and stitch the belly button and the chest detail. All right, let's see what we got in the comments here. Here's a great comment. So Janine says, if you line the dolls, would you need to add the extra stabilizer? I would say no, because that, like, especially if you use like a thin fleece, or if you used scuba even, any fabric that is substantial and also having multiple layers of fabric really help to take the place of extra stabilizer. So I would say no, you do not need extra stabilizer. I don't know everything though. I only know enough to make myself dangerous. So there's so many people out there who have more experience than me, and I live in a very limited world, and I could be wrong about that. So please don't hold me to it. But I would say, in my opinion, I mean, I have foregone extra stabilizer if I have like a couple layers of fabric. So that's what I would do. Thank you, Janine. That was a good question. All righty. So we are stitching the chest detail now. And let's get back to this. So I'm going to grab some polyfill and we're going to stuff this neck tube. I'm trying to do everything I can to make this go smoothly, you guys. I know I want to respect everyone's time. And so we may or may not get around to stuffing this baby tonight, but I will show you how to get it put together, okay? Because stuffing, I timed myself, and it took 6 minutes for the legs, 6 minutes for the arms, 6 minutes for the head, and 6 minutes for the torso. So that's a lot of minutes. That's already an hour right there almost. But yeah, you just want to stuff this here, and I'm going to grab our torso and we're going to keep moving along. All right, so here's the chest detail and the belly button. I'm going to remove this and then we're going to go right back to the embroidery machine and stitch an all over tack down line to make, give us some things to hold the fabric. So the machine is going to stitch something to hold all that fabric down. Actually, I take that back. It's going to stitch the support circle for the head. So if you are making the, let's see. You will always have the support circle for the head. Yes. So we will go ahead and stitch that now. All right. Anyway, so the neck support, you just want to stuff it really tightly. I do have a video on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, showing how to use the FlopStopper. It also comes with a tutorial. So this, you can get this with any of our babies on the website. It's not included with all of the dolls, but it's a free download on our website, just this little sleeve here. And when you download it, you'll get a bunch of sizes that you can use when you make dolls. Or not just dolls, also stuffed animals. So if you're having a problem with your head, you know, flopping around, the FlopStopper is your key to your answer to your problems. So I'm just going to stuff it about like so. Can it? So here's a question. Let me pull this up. So Cordero says, can it be used with the elephant? Yes, it can be used with all the designs. Any stuffed animal, even if it's not in the hoop project and it's like a sewing pattern, you can use, you know, this. You can use this for anything. And it's free. You don't have to pay for it. That's a great question. Thank you. All right. I stitched the support circle. I don't want to pull it off the machine. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the next step too. All right, so let's see what else we need to do here. Let's see. Oh, I know what we could do. We can, while that's stitching, let's do, let's share some community creations here. So I'm going to have to like really squint to see this, you guys. Let me pull up so I can see. All right, so this is Gwen Lewis made our charity bear. I asked her permission. I asked everybody's permission if I could do this. And Gwen made our charity bear, which is a memory bear option. And it's made with all sewn in. And it's just turned out so precious. And I really appreciate her sharing it with our Facebook group. These projects like this really inspire everybody. And, you know, I make these things and provide pictures for the website. And I feel like I do a good job of taking pictures and showing you guys what things look like. But there's just something about when someone else makes it, you know, it inspires me too. I just love looking at you guys' stuff that you've made on the Facebook group. I wish I had, and I may do this, like a cork board and just print all those pictures and pin them all over the board and just have like this creations wall. I just think that would be so cool. And just every time a customer makes something, I go over there and I pin it up. And to me, that's just, I just love you. I love seeing what you guys make and the materials that you use, because sometimes you guys have fabric choices that I don't have, or a combination of fabrics I've never thought of. And it's just so inspiring to see what you guys make. But thank you so much, Gwen, for sharing that project. It turned out absolutely gorgeous. And I love the bow. It's so cute. And the nose is just chef's kiss. So good. All right, so we are almost done with the torso here, and we're gonna be doing some crazy stuff in a minute, and then we're gonna have another giveaway. So we've had 2 winners tonight so far, Tina and Carla. So we're gonna have 4 total. And I just want to say to remember that if you want to enter the giveaway on tonight's live stream, make sure you type hashtag lowercase midnight, not uppercase. So all lowercase. And I'm just going to say, remember that if you've won, please contact me through the website within 7 days. I am not going to reach out to you on YouTube. You will need to contact me. And this is to prevent spam. Okay. And it's also to keep someone from stealing your prize and tricking us both. So it's very important that you contact me. Okay. All right, we have our torso all stitched up to this point. So I just want to take a minute to show this. So we have these alignment markings. We have this support circle at the top of the neck, and we have stitched the fabric down. I have to go back to the machine one more time, and we're going to stitch the placement lines for the arms that are sewn in. So let me get that. It'll just take a minute. Let's see. How would you guys like to see the secret feature for Elodie? Who would like to see the secret feature that I have been hinting at? I have it right here in front of me. Okay. So here we go. So I said I was going to reveal a secret about baby Elodie. And does anybody see anything different about her yet? Probably not. So what I have done for her, and this is not a new idea that I've had. Now I'm going to take her hat off, okay? And her hair is going to be crazy, you guys, okay? So I'm sorry. She has baby bad head. But this is baby Elodie, right? Okay. And she has a sleeping face option too. So you can make a sleeping baby. And then you can put a hat on her, or she can be awake. So we did this with our swaddle sweeties. What was it? Snuggle babies? I can't remember. I think it was the snuggle. Yes, the snuggle babies with the PJs. It had a 2-sided face. And so we had a customer who did this with the swaddle sweeties one year, and everybody loved it. And she made a baby Jesus, and it turned out so precious. And everybody kept asking about it. So I found a way to make it so that other people could do it too. So I'm not going to show how to make this on tonight. The files will be available tomorrow. It has a bunch of eye options and faces, and it's going to be in your downloads. You don't have to spend any money extra to get this feature. It's already included. Now, let me get something really quick. I'm going to stand up and go over here. Hang on. All right, you guys. So I'm also going to show you one of the accessories for baby Elodie. So this is her little sleep sack. So now can you imagine having the 2-face baby, right? The sleeping and awake baby, and the cute little sleep sack, little swaddle sack. So it's Velcro. Okay. And so it has these little wings that Velcro open. And then the baby just slides into this little sack. It's like a little sleeping bag. And so I made a boo-boo on mine, you guys. I make mistakes too. Do you see what I did? I did the out. This was supposed to be on the outside. So I don't know if I'm going to make it again. So you see how it's all like beautiful mountain fabric, and then on the back. But I might leave it. But yes, this is a great accessory for baby Elodie because it does hide that sleeping face. So whenever you have one face showing, the other's kind of, hidden. And but yeah, this is the other baby Elodie that I made. Isn't she so cute? She does not have the double-sided head. See? She just has the exorcist head. It spins all the way around. But yeah, I just wanted to show that. I do have another accessory that I'm going to share. That was the big secret, though, is that baby Elodie has two, and it's going to be a completely separate download and a separate tutorial for how to make this. It's going to have a different torso and a different head. So you will be able to make this if you want to. So it's not for everybody. That's okay. I understand. But it is a cool option to have. All right, we are at our torso here. And I have stitched the placement line for the arms. So now what we're going to do is we need to attach our sewn-in arms, okay? This is how we're going to do it. I'm going to turn these right side out so fast because I forgot to. So I'm just going to grab it. I have tape wrapped around the end of my hemostats so that they don't tear my fabric. But you could really click those down. And then sometimes you just want to go scream. Get in there. And at least I got it started. All right, so there's one. I'm not going to poke the thumb out right now. We can do that later. But yeah, you can turn it right side out without hemostats. This is the way I do it. I hold it like this, and I just turn it right side out like a sock. Okay, so catastrophe avoid. Now I can see where the magnets are taped to these arms. So I can tell which, we need to make sure we get these arms on the right side of the body, you guys. Yep, yes. So just me, she says, thanks for the tape tip. Mine tears everything. I hear you. I hear you. I have been there. Great thing to say. Some things that we do that we don't realize that we do. All right, so make sure your little palms are magnetically attached together, okay? Boink, okay. Now we know that we are putting the arms on the right side of the body, and I don't know if you guys can see this. The elbow is right here. You see the arm? There's the elbow. We got the hands together, so we know that we need to put the baby's arm like this. And I'm just going to tape it really well. If you are worried about your machine catching on this arm, I have made it to where when it stitches down, it will start in the middle of the arm and go to one side, and then it will go back across the arm to the other side. So that way it's not coming over here going boink and getting stuck on the arm and ripping it off. I hope you know what I mean by that. I try to think about these things for you guys because not everybody has a multi-needle machine, and that is, the struggle is real with that. So I try to think of you guys. Let me tell you something that is a tip trick. When you are doing something like this, where you are attaching an arm, a leg to something like this in the hoop, let me show you a trick. I don't know if this is just because I have a multi-needle or if everybody has this. I mean, I don't know if single machines will do this. So right now the machine is stuck on the color that previously stitched. And it's about to stitch the tack down line for the arm. If I just tell the machine to move one stitch, so I go to my screen here and there's a plus 1 stitch plus 10 stitches plus 100 stitches. It's a way to advance through the design like if something were to happen and you need to back up or go forward. It's that feature that allows you to skip a stitch, skip 10. We want to skip 1 stitch. And I want you to watch what happens. So the needle is here, right? It's going to be this needle here. Watch what happens to the bed of the machine. So 1 stitch. The needle has now moved into position, okay? So when I put this hoop on the machine, the needle is going to be here. Did you see where the needle was? The needle was over here. If I had put this on the machine and then hit the button to stitch, that needle foot is going to come over here, and what's going to happen? It's going to catch on this arm. So a trick for you: skip a stitch, skip 1 stitch, and your embroidery hoop bed is going to move. And so watch what happens when I put this onto the hoop. Now the needle is going to come right down on top of that arm. I wish I had a camera for you guys over here. I'm working on it. I'm going to get a 3rd camera so you guys can see what's on the machine. But when the machine stitches, it's not going to get hung up on anything because it's not traveling across the hoop. So that's a really big tip for you guys who have single needle machines. Skip a stitch, skip 1 stitch, not 10, just 1 stitch. And what that's going to do is the bed of your machine is going to go ahead and do its movement, right? You're not going to get any surprises. And that's not just for in the hoop stuff. That's for, you know, if you're embroidering something on an outfit, you know, a shirt, it's huge, life-changing. Skip a stitch. Just remember that. Tape it to your machine. It could really save your life. It could mean the difference between you giving up machine embroidery, selling your machine, and pulling your hair out, and you enjoying this hobby. It is that important. Please skip a stitch. All right. So here is the arm tacked down. What I want you to do is untape it and unfold it. We're going to get it out of the way. We don't want it there anymore. We're going to get the other arm and we're going to do the same. So I'm just going to put it over that line about 1/4 inch. Okay. And I'm just going to turn my hoop here so I can see what I'm doing. Make sure the magnet's on the right side and the elbow is here. And I'm looking at my other arm to see, you know, am I putting it in the right position? Is it about the same distance as the other arm was? And I'm gonna put a piece of tape here. And another trick, you can put a piece of water-soluble topper over this, and it'll help the needle glide better over the fabric, okay? So that's another tip for you guys with single needle machines. All right, now we have our second arm. We're gonna go back to the machine. Oops, what did I forget? I forgot to skip a stitch, didn't I? Yes, let's do that. I'm going to skip 1 stitch. The machine's going to move now. Now I don't have any surprises. It's not going to get hung up on anything. All right, and we're going to stitch that arm, and then we are going to do the legs, and we are going to get this torso done really fast. Okay. So I'm just getting my legs ready. Let's see if we have any questions. Thank you, Susan Galasso. She says that I've given some great tips in this video. I really feel like I can make this beautiful baby. That's a great compliment. Thank you so much, Susan. Let's see. Just me. She says, especially for the 4x4 hoop. Yes, being able to skip a stitch. Oh, it's going to change your whole life. So a lot of people don't realize, you know, that's what happens on a single needle when you make an in the hoop project. It catches on something because you got these layers and it's not expecting to have those layers, right? And it's just something that's inevitably going to happen. And a way to just completely stop that is skip a stitch. So please remember, please put a sticky note on your machine and let me know how it works for you. Let me know if it changes the frustration and the tears that you are having. I'm just going to unfold this arm out of the way. I'm going to tape it, and we are going to stitch the lines for the legs, and I'm going to see if we can do another giveaway. How about that? I am not going to make you guys all stay to the end of the live stream just for a giveaway. If you're not making baby Elodie, it's okay if you're here for the giveaway. I'm not judging you. Totally acceptable, okay? So let's go ahead and do a giveaway. So our last winner was Tina. We are going to draw again. We have 100 entries. Wait, before I do this, let me just remind, okay, that to enter the giveaway, we want to type hashtag lowercase midnight. So do that now if you're just joining, okay? And lowercase letters, please, not uppercase. And then I am going to hit draw again. Are we ready? Let's see who our third winner is tonight. And I'm going to write it down. Who is it going to be? Susan Galasso. What is it? Like every time I answer someone's question, they win. So that is interesting. This system has no way for me to like add luck. It's like some giveaway systems allow you to allow people who are subscribed to be more prone to win. This does not have anything like that. This is baked into the StreamYard live streaming software. It's their tool. It's completely fair, you guys. But Susan, congratulations. And Susan, I'm just writing down your information so that I can make sure no one pretends to be you and takes your stuff. And just remember, Susan, that how to claim your gift. Please contact me within 7 days. Through the website, I will not contact you and include this information so you have time, and I will get that over to you, okay? So now we have our lines for our legs. We are going to take our legs. Now, I just want to give you a little tip here. You can make it so your legs are like this on your baby, okay? Or actually like this. Like they can kind of be like the Juno doll with the legs facing out if you want to do that. However, I have designed this baby to where you want to pinch the seam. So you see these seams where they meet? We're going to put them with the toes facing down, right? And then I'm just going to take this leg and I'm going to tape it very close to the edge of here, not quite all the way, but we do kind of want it to be over here. We don't want it to be in the middle. So tape it over the line. All right. I hope I'm being entertaining for you guys and I'm not boring anyone. I will not be offended if you leave, okay? If you have things to do, it's okay. So we're going to tape it like this. And then what are we going to do? We are going to skip a stitch. So one, whoops, not a color. We don't want to skip a color. We just want to skip a stitch. So now the machine is going to move. And now look, the needle's going to come right down on top of that leg, and I don't have to worry about it being over here and scraping my leg off of the embroidery hoop and causing a catastrophe. Do you guys have any questions? Let's go to the comments here. Let's see what I have missed. Gretchen tells me, you are a great teacher. Thanks so much. Thank you. I actually went to school to be a teacher, but and I did teach Sunday school, but I got married instead. So and the rest is history. But I love kids and I love learning myself. So that was a sweet compliment. Thank you, Gretchen. Let's see here. We got a lot of people re-entering. Yes, congratulations to Susan for winning. Let's see. Oh, I have to share this. I'm sorry. Just me just says, I can hear my 3-year-old grandbaby now. Nana, it has... Oh, that's so funny. I just had to. You guys, it's been a long day. So, yeah. Here we have our leg stitched down, and we're going to do it to the other one. So here is the other leg. Oh, I needed that. That was just so funny. Our husbands are going to walk in and say, what are y'all talking about in there? Well, those chest details that I was talking about earlier, they are optional. So you don't have to do it. Here is the other leg. I have it taped in place. Okay. And, oh, skip a stitch. And I'm going to put this on the machine and we're going to tack it down. All right. Yeah, that was... You get the award for the best joke of the night. That was amazing. I have almost 22-year-old son, 21-year-old daughter, and I have a 19-year-old son, and I cannot wait to be a grandmother. I am ecstatic. I want it. I want the babies. I love babies to death. I love animals. I love babies. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the tape off of these legs. We are going to fold the legs out because we need them out of our way for just a minute. So here we go. And I'm going to put them kind of crisscross applesauce. Okay. And we are going to tape the legs like so. Okay. Now we are ready. Do you remember when we made this earlier? If you were using the doll joint arms, you obviously would not have these sewn in arms like this, right? They wouldn't be here. It would just be the legs like this. But I'm going to demonstrate. So what you would do is you would take this back panel and what are you going to do? You are going to align these squares like so, right? Squares. And what I recommend for that step is these little things right here. You guys, if you've watched any of my other videos, or have any of my tutorials, you will know I use these like crazy. I'm actually going to go ahead and use this piece, but just know this. If you are making the sewn in arms, you're just going to use a blank piece of fabric like this. You're going to have a second piece of fabric that does not have these circles on it, right? No squares to align. And guess what? You don't have to align anything. You can just put your fabric in place and tape it or pin it. But since we have some people who are going to want to have doll joint arms, I'm going to go ahead and do this step, okay? So I'm just going to lay these in the hoop. I'm going to take these little metal pins. I'm going to go up underneath the hoop and I'm going to pierce it right here in this corner of this square, okay? And so it's on the back side of the hoop. And I'm sorry, I can't show you guys this because I got to get it close to me. But there it is. Now what I can do is I can bring this over and I can put it in that same square, right? The corner of the square. I like to use the corners because it's a precise point. If you just put it in the middle of the square, then how do you know one square is not over to one side, you know? So I'm a very precise person. So we're going to do the same for all four. But this will hold your fabric better than tape. Tape can come loose, especially when you have things in the hoop like these arms, these legs, right? So I have another one. I'm going to go right into the corner of this rectangle down here on the outside. Under the hoop, and I'm going to pierce it through. Okay, just like so. Now the bottom doesn't matter as much because there's no elements down here that we need to get perfectly aligned, but these circles, they're important, right? So we need to definitely make sure we get these squares right. And then we have this last one here, almost done, you guys. We are going to go through I promise you that the head is fast. Okay, there's the last one. The torso was the hardest one, and it's the one I really wanted to show you guys. The part of the doll that was important to me to demonstrate. I'm just going to get one more. Here's what the packaging on these. The brand is Ruidee, Ruidee. And it's 100 of them for like $8. All right, so now we have all of that. Can you see? So we have our legs hanging, everything's outside. I do this, I plan this for you guys because most designers, and I've done this too, would just have you tuck all these arms and legs in and have this big hump in the middle of the hoop. And you even gotta, you know, some designers, they'll make you stuff the arms. They'll make you stuff the legs. I'll leave you openings so you can keep everything as flat as possible, right? And so what I've done is I've made this as flat as possible. Let's go stitch the next set of lines. So what we're going to do, we're going to skip a stitch. This is important, okay? Skip one stitch. The machine's going to move. Let's put it on the hoop. And we're going to let it do its thing. Don't worry about those arms hanging over the hoop. Don't worry about your legs. It's not going to stitch over them because I created the tack down line for the body in sections. So you can do as much or as little as you want to on the embroidery machine. So if there's some things that you're just not comfortable doing on the embroidery machine, you're going to have an opportunity to stop the machine. And at least you have some of it done, right? And then you can finish on your sewing machine if you want to. Let's see if we have any questions, and then we're going to do the last giveaway. Okay, you guys? So here's a great question. Deborah says, are the pins hard to insert? Can they cause the stabilizer to shift? The pins are very easy to insert. They're pointy, but not like, they're still kind of dull too. I have no problem going through the stabilizer. They go right through both cutaway and tearaway, but they don't like pull out through, like they don't pierce so much that they can be pulled from the top. You still need to you know, take them apart to remove them. So they hold fabric amazing. Like if you are stitching something that's thick, like a sweatshirt or a hoodie, I can't imagine life without the pin tacks. And it's not my idea. I cannot take credit for that because we had a customer in the YouTube group, or I'm sorry, the Facebook group, and she's the one that came up with this idea. She showed something, and I had been looking for something to do this. And she discovered it, and I immediately bought some. It was amazing. They are life-changing for sure. All right, let's see what's done here. So the machine has stitched up here, gone over here, right? So at this point, if you're like, Rebecca, there is no way that my machine is going to stitch over these arms, these legs, when I tuck them inside. What you would do though, is you would take this arm, we'll talk about that in a minute. And what I like to do is I'm going to fold my arm, go ahead and fold it so you can control how flat it lays instead of just cramming it in there, right? Go ahead and fold it and look, just slide it in there. You can use your hemostats to help get it flat, right? Get it as flat as you can. Make sure it's not twisted up here. Okay. We'll do them one at a time. So let's say you can only afford the space or the patience to do one arm. That's okay. Let me just tell you something. What you could do if you wanted to stop here and you're like, Becca, I'm telling you, my machine is not going to stitch over these legs. It's not going to stitch over this arm. You can unhoop at this point. Don't do it, okay, until you hear me out. But what you could do is you could unhoop the stabilizer. So don't pull the doll off the stabilizer yet. Unhoop your stabilizer, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to flip it over. It's going to be not in the hoop. It's going to be loose, right? Tuck those arms and legs in on this side, right? Go to your sewing machine, stabilizer side up, right? And now you have these little guidelines and you can perfectly stitch with your sewing machine any parts of this design that you feel like that's just too much bulk for me. So I have put that into the design for you guys because I understand that, you know, not everybody can have a multi-needle machine, and I want to make it so everybody can make a design. So I hope that that's helpful. We're going to go to the machine though, because I did tuck my arm in, and I'm going to stitch the tack down line, but I need to skip a stitch. So we are almost 2 hours into this live stream, you guys. I really want to get to the head, so let's get through this as fast as we can. We're almost done with the body. I'm going to say we're probably not going to be able to stuff the doll tonight, and we're probably not going to be able to make the wig. But I will say we do have a tutorial on our YouTube channel on how to make the wigs, and I'm really sorry for that. I know, but we've accomplished a lot tonight. So we've done everything that we've set out to do. We have one more giveaway we're going to do in a minute. So we've accomplished a lot. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to get these, as soon as we finish the torso, we're going to do a giveaway, okay? So just wanted to show you the machine stitched right over that arm, okay? It had no trouble. I know this because my machine has stitched over my whole finger and made me go to the emergency room and have surgery. So it could definitely stitch through these layers of fabric. It stitched all the way through my bone. But I'm just going to tuck it in, and it's okay if you got some bulk right here, okay? Because the machine is not going to travel over this because we're going to skip a stitch. Remember, the machine's not going to travel over that bulk because we're going to skip a stitch. So we've tucked that other arm in. Let's go and stitch the next tack down line. Let's see if we have any questions. I am very behind on the chat tonight, you guys. So I'm teaching and it's moving down. If you see someone ask a question and I'm not answering it, it's okay if you know the answer to help them out with that. So the pins are called rubber pin backs. Rubber, that's, I know, it's like the most like vaguest name. How do you search for something like this? We have an Amazon store, okay? And there's links in the description. There's a link to those pins in this video, okay? Let's see. So let's see. Sally says, I use a single needle and, oh wait, I did the wrong one. I'm so sorry. Hang on. Let's see here. No, Sharon says, what size is your dime hoop? So I have the 8x12, and I don't know if I have, let me see here. Here I also have the, what is this called? What are these called? Mighty hoop. That's right, mighty hoop, right? Look how thick the mighty hoop is. It's like half an inch thick. Okay, mighty hoop, if you're watching, can you make a thinner hoop for us? Because one of the things I love is they have this grab tab here at the bottom. But this is my mighty hoop. You can see how big it is. And this is the snap hoop. They're about the same size, but I will say something. Both of these hoops are smaller than the hoop that comes with your machine. So the hoop that comes with my machine is like 8x13, and it's so much longer and so much wider. So you are sacrificing a little bit of space for your magnetic hoop, but it is so worth it. So I have the 8x12 monster snap hoop for the multi-needle machine. They also make one for a single needle machine. So that was a good question. Let's see if I have any. Let me get the, what else do we need to do? Right. Okay, hang on. I'm getting sidetracked. I'm going to remove these pins in the bottom, but I'm not going to pull the pins out. I'm just going to remove the caps, okay? I'm going to lift this up like so. I'm going to loosen this tape. I throw away so much tape, you guys. Now, just like with our arms, I like to go ahead and fold the leg so that I know I got it as flat as I can get it, right? So I'm playing around with it here, trying to figure out how I want to fold this poor leg. How about like this? That looks pretty flat. And I'm just going to put it inside. I left the whole bottom of the body open for you guys, so you have plenty of space to reach in there and smooth things out. And I'm just going to do the same with the other foot. Now, I will say try to point the toes in so that they don't get outside the body anywhere. That would not be good. I don't think they will. You definitely want to make sure you get them all the way in there, so we don't see any toes and everything's laying flat. Now look what I can do. I left my pins in place. Now look, I can just slide the fabric right back down and just realign it. And I won't have anything weird happen at this point in the stitch out where the fabric has moved. And I'm also, you could put another pin tack right here, but you can also pair these pin tacks with some tape just to make sure that this fabric is not getting distorted, because we have a little bump here, right? So it's wanting to pull this way and we just want to smooth it back down. All right. Let's skip a stitch and finish this body. Now this is going to be the last color for this body, but there is one other color in the stitch file, and it is a circle, and we don't want to stitch it. And the reason why is I put that in the file to prevent your machine, because if you ever notice, when your machine finishes a design, it returns to the center. So it doesn't care what you have in the hoop. That needle and that foot is just going to run right over everything and go to the center to say, ta-da, I'm done. And in the process, it will rip your project right out of the hoop. So whenever there's any kind of bulk in a design, I like to add that little circle. And what that is just, it tells the machine, you're not done yet until I remove the hoop. So now I can remove the hoop. It's done. The circle is still there, but we don't need it anymore. And I'm going to go ahead and advance on to the head. We're going to get this body out of the hoop. We're going to do our giveaway in just a second, you guys, okay? So here is that final tack down line. Let's remove this. I'm going as fast as I can, you guys. And I'm going to get these pin tacks just like this. I would love to know if you guys have any great ideas for live streams, what you would like to see, because I am here to serve you. If there is something I can help with, I don't know everything. I don't even know half or a quarter or a 10%. There are so many ladies out there who are talented. They know so much stuff, but what little I know, I'm willing to give my time to help. And if there is an idea that you have or something that you're struggling with, or a format even for these live shows, okay, let me just say I've removed the torso. If there's an idea you have, please let me know, and I will try to do that. And all I'm doing right now is I'm just getting another piece of stabilizer in my hoop here. I've removed the torso. Everything goes on the floor in my craft room. Am I alone in this? Is it just me? Or am I messy? Mom, don't look. If you're still watching, Mom, you don't want to see my craft room. My mom is a clean freak. She loves to clean house. And if she saw my crafting, she would be like, Beck, I raised you better than this. All right, let's get this head stitching here. Okay, because I definitely want to get that. I did choose a simple face, so it only has one eye color. All right, let's do the giveaway. And I know there's people here who are just here for the giveaway, and that's okay. Let's appease them, and they might have some things to do tonight. And then I hope to be done in the next 20 minutes, you guys. So I'm going as fast as I can. So again, let me pull up. I actually want to do one more thing before we do the giveaway. Okay. So we're actually going to do some other things. So we talked about Gwen's. Okay. Barbara Newman. She, this is from our Facebook post in our group. Barbara makes a lot of our designs, and Barbara Newman made Cookie Puppy, which I love because that was one of my favorite projects. And I just love that she made hers gray like this. And she used this cute little nose. And look at the cute star fabric. She made the matching harness. And I just think she did an amazing job on this. So, Barbara, thank you so much for sharing your stuff with us, because I look forward to seeing your posts. You make so many designs and we all love seeing them. Thank you so much for that. And then I also wanted to share with you Jane Grant. She made our Pearl Puppy. And these little animal dolls have been really popular, but look how she didn't go crazy with fabrics. She just chose some simple fabrics. Just a simple blue fabric for the dress and a matching bow. So it's not complicated, but her color palette is like a cool color palette. And it just turned out so like elegant, you know? And I think she did an amazing job. It stood out to me. They all stand out to me. I love them all, even the mistakes that you guys share on the Facebook group. And then the last one that I wanted to share. So Crystal Grabber, she loves making our dolls. She's made hundreds of the Juno dolls, and I think she's made a business out of it. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, she's made a business out of it. But as soon as we had the Elodie files up, she ran and made this baby. And I just wanted to share it because it was perfect for tonight's live stream. And she has lots of experience. Imagine the things we could learn from Crystal. So I don't know if she's in the chat tonight. I'm not sure if I've seen her because I know it's late where she lives. I believe she's in Australia and it's super late. Or actually really early in the morning, if I'm not mistaken. But Crystal, she could teach us a lot because everything she makes just looks gorgeous. Thank you, Crystal. And thank you, Barbara and Jane, Gwen, you guys. Thank you so much for letting me share your pictures with everybody. And now we are going to have that giveaway. So let's talk about the giveaway. If I can find it. You guys, I'm trying so hard. Okay, so the last thing we had here. So Susan was our last winner. We're going to do our last giveaway. We have 103 entries. Let's talk about how you enter that. So remember, you want to type hashtag midnight lowercase letters, not uppercase. So go ahead and do that now. And I'm just going to wait 10 more seconds because this is our last drawing for the night. So if you haven't entered, please do so. If you've already won, you're not going to get another prize. So it's going to give someone new a chance. And here we go. Let's draw. Who will it be? Who will it be? Maggie Lamp Smoke. Congratulations, Maggie. Yay, you won. Maggie. I know she's been in here for a while tonight. That's amazing, Maggie. I'm so happy you won. And congratulations to everybody who has won tonight. Thank you so much. I know some of you are you're tired and you want to go to bed, and that's okay. But let me just put up the rules again. So we had 4 winners tonight, and they have all won a whole doll supply kit from us here at Planet Applique. And contact me through the website within 7 days. So I am not going to reach out to you, and I'm not going to tell you that you won, because that's how people get scammed. I need you to contact me, include your profile name and what the gift was. And I will get that to you as soon as I possibly can, ASAP. We have a new USP store, right? Am I saying that right? UPS. Oh, my brain. You guys, it's been a long night. We have a new UPS store right down the road, and it's so convenient to just run down there and mail things. All right, so let's get this torso trimmed up. By the way, congratulations to everyone who won. And what I'm doing is I'm trimming the body, and I'm leaving a tab of fabric, okay? And we're gonna go all the way around. And actually, I'm gonna take a break from that. Let's go ahead and get the hoop. I already put the stable. That's right. I had a problem. My thread. You guys, it happened again. The thread goblin strikes. So I'm just going to get this fixed really quick. I'm telling you, sometimes, especially, and I don't know why this is, whenever it is Black Friday time of the year, this will happen 60 times in one day to me. It's almost like the machine is like, I am so tired, please stop stitching. And I get very frustrated, but I don't know what causes it. I think what happens is the machine doesn't pick up the bobbin thread, and the thread gets pulled out and snaps back up. So oh, I cannot see. Sometimes you get a limp piece of thread and you just need to cut it again. One of these days, I'm going to get me a magnifying glass or a machine that works. Hey, brother, sponsor me. Seriously, brother makes great machines. But there are so many amazing companies that make embroidery machines, and they're not the only fish in the sea, you guys. And I've had this machine for a long time, and she's been a good girl. So let's see here. Lock. Let me actually make sure my bobbin thread is okay. I just want to make sure there was not a reason. Okay, bobbin's good. Well, now you guys know how to load the bobbin on a 10 needle machine. And I'm just going to let it finish. All right, let's get back to stitching. Please don't mess up again, because we're almost done. It seems like it always happens when it's just stitching on stabilizer and not really like when I actually have fabric, it seems like it grabs. But like if it's just stabilizer, it has a hard time. Let me see if we have any comments here. There are so many that oh, it's so far down. Oh, it's because of the midnight. Yes, just me. I notice when I'm working on something, just as I'm about to finish, that's when it breaks loose. Yes. Oh, or like whenever you have been working on something like this for 2 hours in the very last step of the machine. And this, like I said, it happens on the single needles a lot. You're almost done, and you've already been through literal hell on earth to get to the point where you are. And then something terrible happens and your whole project is just lost to you. And that's a horrible feeling. If I was if I was experiencing machine embroidery like that, I wouldn't want to do it. And anybody out there who's feeling like that, I hope some of the tips that I've helped, I mean, I can't make everything better, but I hope that, the skip a stitch idea helps you so that you can have success, because I want you to be able to use your machine and have fun with it. No one wants to fail. You know what I mean? Okay, let's get this head made as fast as we can. Here's our body. Let me show it to you. Here's our little body with our arms, and they'll be out like that. We can see that our arms are together in the belly button, toes pointed up. Everything is sewn in, right? Here is our head. Now this head is a little different. We have the head shape. We have this line going across, and we have this circle. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut, and I think this is important, a little piece of felt to go over that circle. It's going to help the head be more stabilized, okay? Because we're giving it, those stitches of the circles, something to bite into. So we're going to spray some adhesive. We're going to stick that on there like so. And let me get my fabric for my head. This fabric is different from our other babies. So you're actually going to cut one big piece of fabric. And this is how you determine the size. You want to have the stretch going across the baby's head. It is egg-shaped because the fabric stretches side to side, and we need to compensate for that width of stretch, right? The fabric's not going to stretch this way, but it's going to stretch this way. And so we want to make sure our fabric is cut the same. And the height, which is the height of the fabric or the length, this line to this head, right? Just like that. That's our measurement. And you can see that my fabric, if the fold is on that line, I have about an inch above the head. That's plenty. And the width, about a ½ inch on each side. Stretch going side to side. Big, long piece of fabric. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put a little bit of spray adhesive right here. And I'm going to use a scrap piece of stabilizer on the face. And the reason why I'm doing that is because, again, this is a part of stitching on t-shirt fabric, right? And that's essentially what this is. Things get messed up on t-shirt knit. So here we want to add a little bit more stabilizer. We want to make sure we are stabilizing that head, okay? Let me get rid of this sticker. I'm going to spray adhesive a second time on the scrap. So each layer is getting stabilized. Fold your fabric in half, okay? Right sides together if that's the case. And I'm going to put the fold directly on that line, okay, as best as I can. It don't have to be perfect. Just abouts. Good enough. Smooth the fabric, okay? You can see it's on the line. And now we're going to unfold it, okay? Just like so. And smooth everything out. We're going to stitch the support circle where the head attaches to the body. And if any of you remember the tip that we had tonight, what is the thing that we need to do next? Who knows? We need to skip a stitch. So I'm going to skip one stitch. Now that's not as important whenever you just have a single piece of fabric in the hoop. When that really becomes a thing is when you have like arms and legs and layers and thickness. If you're stitching on something where, it's a baby onesie and you have it all curled around your hoop, that's when it matters. When you are stitching on just a piece of flat fabric like this, it's probably not going to mess up your machine. So, yeah. Let's see if we have any questions here. So, let me scroll up a little bit because I've missed a lot. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So Juanita says, I just bought a new multi-needle just for making our designs. I have had a lot of customers say that. That is like the best compliment in the world. And I hope that you love your multi-needle machine because maybe you could put in the comment what brand or what machine that you got because I'm very curious Because I'm needing a new multi-needle and I don't know what to pick. And I think I'm going to go used, but that just warms my heart that you went and got the dream machine of the machine of your dreams, just to make these designs. So that's not the first time I've heard that. And I think that's awesome that you find a passion in something like that, that you see a future in it enough to want to get that multi-needle machine. So thank you, Juanita. Let's see. Oh, Crystal says something here. Hers is Little Miss Doll Shop. Crystal, grab her here. I've just been watching and learning from you. Thank you for the shout out. I love all the dolls you've designed. And I'm in South Carolina. Oh, I thought you were in Australia. That's another customer that makes dolls a lot. I can't remember her name. It just slipped me my mind. But you're in South Carolina. So yep, she's close to home. I'm in North Carolina. Let's see. I am late. Why do you skip a stitch? Maybe y'all can help. Let's see. So D. Langston. So skipping a stitch helps the machine not get caught on pieces of fabric that you have in your hoop. And you'll see me do that a couple times. Maybe you can rewind a little bit and see. But it's an awesome thing. Let's see here. What other we got? Oh, she got a buy. Is that how you say it? Is a bay? Bye. A buy. I have seen those too. And it's very tempting because they have amazing prices on those machines. I mean, almost to the point where even if it broke after 5 years, they're so affordable, you could just replace it. So Angel, we have a link to our Amazon in the description below. So if you're looking for some things in the show, we have those down there. Let's see here. I'm in West Virginia, says Sally. Gretchen says, what kind of, so I have a brother, Gretchen. So she asked, what kind of machine do you have? So I have the Brother PR1000E, and it's about 12 years old. So she's been through a lot. She's got a lot of millions of stitches. All right, so we have that support circle right here. We're going to place, again, because there's something magic about this stuff, you guys, when it comes to t-shirt fabric. It has an effect. As soon as we are done with this head, we are going to stop there, you guys. I feel like everybody has just been so wonderfully patient with me. I knew that this was going to be a huge challenge to make this whole baby in a show. And we've stopped a lot. We've answered questions. Whenever I am in production mode here in the craft room, if I'm not filming tutorials, I'm going fast through these things. I did a lot of preparation for tonight's live stream to make this as fast as I could, and I couldn't quite make it, and I hate that. But here's that water sealable topper. I am going to go ahead and skip a stitch because you might as well get into the habit of it, right? That way you won't forget. Now we're going to stitch a few lines, and I'm not going to remove this from the hoop again for a while. So I'm just going to come over here quite a bit, and I'm just going to start stitching the next color. And I chose the most simple face to stitch out for this baby so I could save time. And while that's going on, we can look at some comments. So let's see here. Oh, Barbara's here. We saw her beautiful picture earlier tonight. And Barbara says, she says a service guy recommended a Ricoma, but I love my Baby Lock Capella, which is a single needle, but it stitches like a multi-needle. So, Barbara, how does that work? Does it like, what about it, even though it's a single needle, what about it makes it more like a multi-needle? So I'm very curious to hear that. Maybe you can share in the comments and I can pull it up. Tammy says she got a Smart Stitch 15 needle. So that's amazing. I've heard good things about those. Is that the same company that does the bay or the buy and the, what is it called? Pull-in? Is that all the same company or am I wrong? Let's see here. Embroidery Grandma, she says, we don't mind the time. Would love to see it through completion. I might do that. We don't have very much. I mean, we just have the wig when we're done. And it's not that hard. I have some tips about the wig that can really help you guys. I mean, the live stream could go on as long as you want, I guess. There's not really a time limit. I mean, I stay up till midnight every night. Last night I stayed up till like late. I was so stressed about this live stream and I couldn't sleep. So I was just like, I'm just going to get up and make stuff. Let's see. So here's a great question. So Grace says, can you share what size Elodie you are making now? So let me get her out here. So this is the 8x12 hoop, but I can't fit a true, it's more like a between an 8x10, 8x12. It's a 20-inch baby. So I'm going to say that she's the 8x12, okay? And this baby, if I get my tape measure out, she is, let me make sure I get it right, 20 inches long. So she's like the 8x10 baby. So imagine if you made the 8x12, that would be 2 more inches, right? So that's the 8. This is the 8x12, and then this would be my size, right? So let me just show you what she looks like when I hold her in my arms. So she's a good size baby. You know, that's a 20-inch baby. And then we have the 6x10 next, right? Well, it makes an 18-inch baby, right? So I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me switch my camera so you guys can see. Because I think sizes are important to help visualize, right? Let me get her on the screen, baby. All right, so if mine is 20 inches, the 6x10 is going to be 18 inches, okay? So to this big. And then the 8x8 is going to be a 16-inch baby, okay? And the 5x7 is 14. And then the 5x5 is a 10-inch baby. So quite a bit smaller there, but still doable. And then the 4x4 is I think I put a 9-inch baby. So very cute and adorable sizes. I feel like that's a good range. And I tried to design the babies in a way that is convenient for you guys. And so the construction is convenient, but you still get a decent sized baby. So a lot of people, they might just combine the head, the body, and the arms all in one hoop. And you just have to make, if you have a 6x10 hoop, you get a 10-inch baby. So I try to figure out ways to make it as big as I can. And so it's a more rewarding project. You know, now you can dress this baby in real clothes, whereas before, if you had an 8x12 hoop and it was all made in one hoop, you would have a 12-inch baby, and you would have to make clothes for it, you know. Let's see what else we got here. Racoma are not nice. Mary Lou Perez, she says, thank you for taking the time to show us to make the baby doll. It's so adorable. Well, thank you, Mary, for I'm honored that you would give me your time today, because you could have done anything you wanted, and you chose to spend it with me. So thank you so much for that. Let's see here. I have both a single needle. Okay, so Susan, she says, I have both a single needle brother and a brother 1055 10 needle, still learning the multi. My only advice I can give you about a multi-needle machine is literally just sit down and play with it. Go through the menus, and that's the way that I got to where I wanted to do that. Like, I have this desire, and it's very scary when you get a multi-needle machine because this area here is just very scary, right? But as you play with the machine, you see how it functions, and you start learning what all the buttons do, and watching tutorials like this is helpful too. I would love to do a tutorial on the multi-needle machines. I know some things have changed with the 1055. I know it has some wireless capabilities, and so that's an interesting machine. But yeah, you're right. Multi-needle machines can be scary. That's a great question, or comment, actually. I'm just reading some of these comments, you guys. Let's see. There's so many, and I'm really far behind. Let's see. Oh, Rosina Home, I bought lots of your designs, but I will do them as soon as possible. I know it's hard to get time for our hobbies and our crafts, isn't it? Now you guys know why I'm going to skip the eyebrows on this baby, you guys. We're not going to do the eyebrows. All right, I have my face done. Let's go to the top down here. All right, for those of you following along, I chose this little face, and I'm just going to remove the water sealable topper. Try not to remove your, your fabric, okay? Now, the trick about this, it's not really a trick. It's easy, okay? So we've removed the water sealable topper. I like to save these, by the way, because you never know when you need them. I'm going to peel up, and you're going to peel up this circle from the stabilizer. So just grab it, and it should peel up just like this. See? Just like that. And if it starts tearing, it's okay. Just try to get it free, right? You're going to have a hole in your stabilizer. That's okay. What we want to do is we want to lift this fabric over where it catches on this line right here. That's going to make sure that this support circle is perfectly aligned. Some of our past babies, you had to make the circle and then put it below the lip. But what if you didn't get the circle in the right exact spot? Or what if the fabric shifted? Well, this fixes that. So now what we can do is we can just flip it over, and it's going to catch on that line, right? And I'm going to just make sure my fabric, this tape is messing me up. Let me get rid of this tape. It wants to crease my fabric here. Okay, now we're in business. So just make sure that line, and smooth it out, okay? And then we're just going to tape it in place. You don't have to pin it or nothing. We don't have that many layers. The wig is going to be easy to make, you guys. This is the last color for the head. All right, there's no ears because the ears are part of the head design. All right, I'm going to skip a stitch because we want to stay with our habit, okay? And those of you who don't know what the skip a stitch is, the machine is going to move before you put the hoop on so that your fabrics that are in the hoop are not going to get stuck on your embroidery foot or your needle. So we're going to let the machine go through its path that it wants to go for that next color. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get another piece of stabilizer ready for our next hooping, which is going to go really fast because I've already cut my wig fabric. While that's stitching, we're going to talk about how to cut the wig fabric. So what you want to use is an X-Acto knife. And I put a new blade in this sucker, and it is, oh, it's scary. It's so scary. All right, and you're going to see me cut this later, okay? But using light pressure, you want to cut the backing fabric. So this is the backing fabric. You don't want to use scissors. Let me put that down. You don't want to use scissors and cut your faux fur. So you actually want to only cut the backing. So we're not going to use mohair or a doll wig to make this doll. We're actually going to use faux fur. I want you to notice something about this fur. Do you see what I see? Look how thin this fabric is. let me show you something else. Let me see if I have it here. I don't. Let me get something I want to show you guys. All right, I've had this. This is like my bear blanket. This is what I made the first Juno babies out of. I want you to look at the difference. This stuff is so thick and it's scary. I am not gonna lie. That thickness, right? Let's do it the other way so we can do a fair comparison. Look how thick. I mean, I'm pinching it. Look how thick that is. That's not necessary. You want to shop around for your fur. Now, let me just tell you where to buy the thin fur, okay? I don't even know where I got this. I want to say that this is Shannon Fabrics' faux fur. So it's very thick, you guys. And that's not a bad thing if you're making something else. But I just don't feel like, and I will say that this baby here is made with this fur, okay? I use this fabric to make her wig. And it does give you a nice wig with very thick hair, and it's not going to come out. It's in there to stay. Like, you cannot pull out the fur of this stuff. It's good quality, but it is thick, and I get it. So that is how thick. Sorry, you guys. I had to burp. So, excuse me. That's very thick. This stuff right here I got from Big Z Fabrics. And look how long the hair is. Now, you know, you may lose a few pieces. That's okay. There is a way to fix that. But it's just so much thinner and easier to work with. Unless we're gonna see how that works in just a minute. So let's look at our head. So here we have finished. Here's the ears. And I'm just going to remove it. The ears were part of the design, and we have an opening left for the head. So you're just going to remove it from the hoop just like that, okay? Now I'm not going to trim it yet because we're going to do that while we are stitching the outline for the wig. Try to be efficient as possible. I'm going to get rid of this stabilizer. And we'll get a new, oh, wait a minute. I already got my, here we go. And you guys, I will get better with camera angles. I'm the kind of person that I love to learn new things. And I consume the information, but man, it leaves my head as soon as I learn it. So everything I've learned about how to do a live stream, I'm not going to remember. It's going to be like that movie 50 First Dates. I'm going to forget as soon as I learn how to do something. All right, so we have new here. Let's go ahead and get the wig stitched, okay? All right, let's talk about trimming this head. Excuse me. So I'm going to leave a tab of fabric. You guys, I promise I'm not ignoring the comments, but I just want to be respectful of everybody's time. And I'm actually looking forward to watching this on the replay myself and reading all the comments. I love watching live streams. But I'm just going to trim around the baby's head here. You don't have to worry about the bump on the ears. They're part of the design. All right. One other thing you can do is grab the stabilizer in the middle of that circle. Okay. And one other thing, make sure you snip the ears all the way to the corner. Let me make sure. Sorry, you guys. My big fat head was in the way. So I'm just going to use my sharp scissors here. My new ones. So you just want to snip into the corner. That way the ears will turn right side out properly. And I'm just going to remove the stabilizer. Now you can add a magnet to her mouth. You don't have to be careful with the direction of the magnet or the polarity of the magnet or the mouth. Because the greatest thing about these doll pacifiers is you can flip the magnet in the pacifier. So we need to put a magnet on this baby's mouth. So I'm going to take this magnet here. I'm going to put it right below the lip. And let's cut a piece of this. I know you guys want to see the wig done. I just cut a piece of this Dr. Scholl's medical adhesive bandage. It comes in a roll and it's padded. And it's great for sticking the magnets. It doesn't matter which way the magnet is, okay? So you can just tape it any way, especially if you have a honeybug pacifier. So I've just taped it. Try to get the stabilizer away from your seam, okay? Because we don't want anything to affect the stretch. Now we're going to turn this baby's head right side out. We got the magnet. We're going to poke the little ears out. I'm going to forget to say this, so I'm going to go ahead and say it now while we're poking the ears out. When you are done with your baby and you're stuffing it, okay? I want you to see what I've done with this baby's ears. So I actually made the ears be stitched to the head. I just took a doll needle and some thread and I just put a little dimple stitch right there. Okay, and that makes the baby look like it's got little, you know, like little ear holes. So then you don't just have the baby's ears hanging out in the wind. All right, there's our new adorable baby. All right, I wish we could see her stuffed. Let's do the wig, you guys. I'm going to leave this blade of death out. All right, I'm going to leave it in the top-down view because I don't want to be switching around too much, making you guys sick. Okay, here is the wig outline. You want to cut 2 pieces of fur to generously cover this. And you want to be more generous than you would with normal fabric. And that's because we're dealing with something thicker. And guess what happens whenever you stitch this down? What's going to happen? Look, the side, if this gets stitched, if I stitch it hard, it's going to poke up, right? So you want to give yourself like an inch on each side of this shape is what I say. So look how thin this is. You can put both of these on top of the hoop, right sides together. Look at my nap. So the baby's hair is all going one direction. Okay. Is the Dr. Scholl, let me put this question on screen. So she says, is the Dr. Scholl's machine washable? I'm not sure. I have not tested that. It could be. It might not. And there might be a better option. That's definitely not the only choice that we have. If you know of something that would be better, please let us know, because I'm always looking for new supplies. And I'm sorry if you guys can hear my Sansa. She's chirping in there. You know, she's a husky and she doesn't bark, but she chirps. So I think my son is home and she's playing with him. But so on this thinner fur, you can put the fabric right sides together. Okay, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then you would pin it, right? So you would pin it in the 4 corners. I'm actually going to do something that I don't need to do because this is thin, but I'm going to do it anyway, just in case your faux fur is thick. So what you can do is you can flip this over on the back side of the hoop. Now, I know it's really hard to see this, okay? Take 1 piece of your wig fabric, and I want you to put it right side down. Make sure you got the wig covered well, okay? Now check this out. Get your pin tacks. We need 4, right? Okay. I'm going to push a pin tack through this fabric. And you can imagine what's going to happen next, right? We're getting this secure. This is going to hold this fabric on the back. All right, let me get these out of the way. Let's see if I can flip this over without it falling off. Oh, I did it. Yay. Now you can see the little pins, right? So now what do you think is going to happen? This color of fur, Diane, is blonde. It's the light blonde color. It's from Big Z Fabrics. They have two blonde colors. One is called caramel. Don't get that. It's a darker, dirtier blonde. Get the other blonde. So you see the pins. I'm going to pierce. Now I'm taking the second piece, right? So the stabilizer is in between. We got a fabric on the back of the hoop, then the stabilizer. And now we have the top side of the hoop. And look what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the pin tacks. See, you can't tape. There's no way to tape this fabric. It's too fuzzy, you guys. So that's where these little pin tacks are like amazing. Look at all the uses. Go get some. I keep losing one of my pin tack caps. All right. Now, do you see what we've done? We have halved in half the width of the fur. So if you're on a single needle machine and you're stuck with some fur that's thicker, guess what? Now the weight of your hoop is going to push down on this thickness, right? It's going to mash it down. You're using leverage, physics, to make it easier for your machine to stitch this. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to go over to the embroidery machine. We're going to skip a stitch because we don't want the machine moving around, right? We want to control where that needle is. Well, I skipped a color, so we don't want to do that. Just one stitch. Okay. And we're going to let the machine stitch. Let's go ahead and get our baby laid out. We can do that. So let's see here. I don't want to miss anything. Wow, you guys are hanging with me. I feel like we're in the trenches together. Let's get our baby. We got the head. All right. See what we got going on here, right? Let's get the rest of our doll joints. Look at the head FlopStopper. We're making the wig now, right? So what I'm going to do is let me get a doll needle. Doll needle. And I'm going to get some upholstery thread because it works best. And this is what you want to use. Upholstery thread is what you want to use to stitch your baby's wig to its head. And this is just the Coats and Clark, okay? And I'm going to stitch this little neck thing closed. And if you don't like doing that, you could use a zip tie if you wanted to make it quick work of it. And you don't even have to knot. And I'm just going to do this super fast, okay? So this ain't no beauty contest. We're just going to go through both layers like really fast. See? Not too bad. And then I'm just going to pull. And now I'm just going to just tie it. If you wrap you know how you do a knot, right? Like you're going to tie your shoes. Well, if you do that action twice, let me start over. Here's your two threads. Crisscross. It goes under, right? Go around and under again. It like creates like some kind of slip knot. And then you just pull it and it'll stay. It's not going to slide on you. And now you can do that again. And guess what? Now it's been locked in. So that was pretty easy. That was the fastest hand stitching I've ever done in my life. So we have a question here. So Tammy says, do you plan to revisit past designs to create larger sizes? Tammy, I think that would be a great idea. I think that would just be an amazing idea. Because some of our designs, I was young and dumb and I didn't know what I was doing, and I've learned so much and I'm still learning. So it makes me wonder, what else I could make. This is why sometimes, you'll see me, I'll have 2 elephants, 3 elephants, because I'm thinking, well, I've made a standing elephant, but have I made a sitting elephant? Have I made this kind or that kind? And just like different styles of animals, different skill levels to make them. So what I'm doing right now is I'm cutting a slit in the doll joint circle on the body and the head, because we need to insert this. This is going to help our body and it's going to help our head not to flop around. So you just want to squish it in there, guys. Just get it in. And make sure the post, okay, comes out of that circle on the top. All right. Now this is important. It doesn't matter which way you attach the head, because the head, that's why the doll joint's on this side, right? So even if I put the baby's head on what it looks like to be backwards, it's really not going to be, because the baby's head can turn. All right, so now I have connected the head, right? I push the post into that circle. I don't know if you can see that. I hope you can. Get it on there good. Take the flat washer of your doll joint, put it inside, put it on the post. Can you see the post? All right, so we got the flat washer on there. This is the locking disc, and we're going to reach inside. There it is. Reach inside and find the post. Okay, I found it. Now I'm going to grab the whole doll joint, including the one that's inside the body, right? We have a piece of it inside the body. Make sure you ain't got no fabric pinched in. You can feel the edge of that doll joint. And we just want to get it started, okay? And now we're really going to crank it down. Get that head all the way as hard as you can do it. Give it to your husband. Make him push on it. Make sure that baby's head's connected good, okay? All right. Now the FlopStopper's inside. That is the head, and everything's connected. And now you are able to stuff your baby, okay? And make it look the way you want to. Take your time stuffing your baby. Let's look at our wig. Here is our wig. Look at it. Here is the wig on the back side. See how we halved the width, right? Or the thickness, rather. Ugh, the wig fabric. All right, let's remove these pins. And I'm just going to pull these pins out. We're almost done, you guys. Alrighty. All right, now what we want to do is we can just pull this. Just give it a good tug, right? It's going to come away. And there is your baby's wig. It's all stitched. Big Z Fabrics. If you are looking for thinner furs, look how long and pretty it is. I just love it. They have some stuff that's not quite as long. So if you don't want the long fur, you don't have to buy that. All right. So let's see here. What? Oh, yeah, that's right. The wig is inside. We need this piece. So you want to reach inside and I was looking everywhere for this in this inside. So just kind of gently tear it away right from the seam. If it gets hung on something, just trim it like so. We're going to use this as a template in just a minute. I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to cut like so. Just pick a side and lay it just like so on your baby, on your baby's wig. Align the corners with the hairline. And then I'm just going to use a little pencil here and I'm going to draw it. If you try to cut this while you're holding your template, you're going to cut yourself because you need to be able to control, right, the blade and the template. And at least now, see how close I was at the edge there? All right, and we're just going to cut the backing fabric very gently. So, I don't know if any of you guys have ordered from Juno Doll, but I have cut hundreds of these little wig kit things. You know, whenever you order a wig cut from Juno Doll, our website where we sell supplies, I had to do this by hand. So did you guys even see any of that? Was my head in the way? Oh my goodness. I hope my head's not in the way. But I had to cut this wig fabric, like literal hundreds. It took weeks. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going around and I am trimming the top of the wig. Okay, I've got the back hairline. Don't throw this away yet. We're going to need it in a minute. Okay. And you definitely, if the sharper your blade, the faster and easier this is. But just please be careful because this is a blade of death. All right, it's not going to release at the top, but it did on the sides, and that's what we want. Now, the other side, we are going to, let's just cut it like this. Yeah, a lot of people have questions. So Lori W, so she says, so glad to have an example for the wig. So that's a great thing to bring up because I've had so many people email me and ask how, you know, that's the big confusion. Like, how is the hair done on the babies? They assume it's mohair or something like that, but it's just faux fur. And obviously you could use this little paper right here to sew this on your sewing machine, guys. So you don't have to use your embroidery machine, but you can. So I just wanted to show you that it could be done. So I'm just tracing now the front hairline. All right, there we go. And now I'm going to start at the middle. Don't go over here. So I recommend you go like this. Start at the part and work your way like so. Try to only cut the backing fabric only. All right, almost there. We're getting there. Okay, got that trimmed. Now let's go ahead and trim the top. I think that this live stream is actually an interesting format to do tutorials because think about it. When I have to make a video for a tutorial and I have to edit it, right? I have to film so many angles, top down, front view. It's a lot, you guys. Like, and then to edit all that footage. See, the great thing about a live stream is I don't have to edit anything. It's done. Now, the scary thing is whatever I say is there forever. There is no editing out the things that I'm not happy with, right? So here's our wig. So I'm stuck with, you know, the live stream. But the great thing about that is people on the replay, right? They didn't get to see the the live stream, but maybe someone, maybe one of you asked a question about, that they had and they wished that they were there and could ask, and you asked the question and I was able to answer it. So I think live streaming is a great format for tutorials. You guys are so sweet. Look at all you saying it was. Let's see. This is pretty funny. So she says, just me. She says the wig was the scariest for me. Glad we got to see it made. Yeah. So it was pretty scary seeing that knife whip through that fur too. But yeah, so I hope you guys appreciate this. Obviously, from here on, you would just stuff your baby. You would fit the wig onto your baby's head. And I wish I could stuff my baby. I tell you what, I'm going to stuff my baby and I'm going to put it on the website so that you guys can see it all made, okay? And I would love to see your created babies in the Facebook group, because I love seeing the fabrics that you picked. And thank you so much for being patient with me tonight. This was the first time doing something like this. And I have learned so much about myself, and it has been amazing meeting all of you. And everyone is just so kind and thoughtful to each other and well-behaved. And I hope you enjoyed the giveaway. If I can improve in some way, please let me know, because I don't know what I'm doing. So please help me. If you have something that you can suggest that you think would be a better option, a format or an idea for the show, let me know. And I hope that you guys had fun tonight. I'm sorry it took so long, but it was a lot of fun. And I hope that you guys have a beautiful evening and you enjoy time with your families. And I just wanted to say goodbye to you all, and get some sleep tonight, because it's been a long day. But thank you so much. I love you guys. Have a good evening. I'll see you next time.